Welcome to another day in the Matrix. Waters above crypto. I hope you all had a beautiful weekend. I'm sending you all love and high vibrations to start this week. So, I guess most of you watched my last video where I decoded the number 24 using Gematria and focused on the connection to Pluto and the number 24 because we were moving into the 24th week of the year, which has started today. And coincidentally, earlier today, Elon Musk tweets about Pluto. Hmm, how strange. Or how planned. Well, if you've been around this channel for a couple months, I believe you know the answer to that question. So today I'll be doing a quick Gematria decode on this recent Elon Musk tweet. And you guys know I try not to waste too much of my breath on this Jesuit cover boy, but I had to point out a couple things that are significant that might be useful for all of my fellow decoders out there looking to get ahead in this matrix. I'll also be covering the Bitcoin and XRP charts to follow up on what I see happening throughout the week. So, if you're new here, we do cryptocurrency technical analysis and combine it with the esoteric science of Gematria, numerology, and astrology to understand these markets. If you haven't already subscribed and you like what we're doing here, feel free to subscribe. Give this video a like and share this channel with other conscious people to help grow this community. And for those of you that want to learn how to do technical analysis and combine it with Gematria, you can join my Mastermind course. There's a promo code in the pinned comment. You can qualify for that promo code discount by becoming a Patreon supporter of the Mastermind Community Membership. Link to my Patreon is in the description. And to get in contact with me for access to the course, my email is in the description box as well. This past weekend for the Red Pill episode, my weekly technical analysis podcast, I shared my personal story of how I got started in crypto, the mindset I've developed throughout my journey of investing, and also becoming an educator in the space. So, moving forward, I'm planning to make more content about mindset and manifestation. Perhaps if that's interesting, kind of stuff, if you guys like that, just let me know down in the comments. And with that being said, let's take the red pill. So, this guy, where to begin? We got our classic 666 hand sign going on. And another thing I wanted to talk about was this. This was his recent picture that he had over on Twitter over the weekend. And you can see this design if you pause the video and count. There is 24 lines coming out of the center of this logo. And then once this week started, he changed this picture and then updated a new tweet, which we'll quickly read. Pluto takes 248 years to orbit the sun, but Uranus only takes 84. Really interesting how he brings up this planet on the start of the 24th week of the year after changing this picture, which has a very intentional design on it. Well, where else do we see this number 84? Let's go to Pluto, and that's our English ordinal cipher. Pluto is 84. Of course, we have the 24, which we discussed in the last video here, where we were decoding the number 24 and its use along the esoteric realm. Let me add in my Chaldean cipher really quickly. And again, I always do this live when I'm doing my decodes with you guys because I want you to see how I do it. It is a tutorial in and of itself. So, of course, we started the 24th week of the year today, and the Pluto significance was something that I was considering because Pluto is the god of the underworld, but he's also the god of wealth. And that's what this whole system that we're attracted to is all about in regards to cryptocurrency bringing us wealth, and how this is an unspoken about astrological body because of NASA. And NASA is obviously a scam. They love to hide their scam too, and I believe that that is theater. So, we also need to investigate Uranus. So Uranus, or Oranos, is the god of the sky, and these numbers are really important. I'm actually kind of glad that Elon brought up this planet because it was something that I wanted to talk about mainly because of the Chaldean cipher being 23. And of course, Bitcoin's Chaldean is also 23, but we'll get into that in a moment. The point being here Just want to step into this real quick. So, Uranus, of course, is the god personifying the sky and one of the Greek primordial deities. And then his equivalent in Rome being Silas, and the Mesopotamian equivalent being Anu. So, Anu is the ancestor of the Anunnaki, and Anu, his Canaanite equivalent is El. And we actually spoke about El in the last video. The question I kept getting after that video, and I'm really sorry I didn't bring it up in the video, was what was that show I was talking about in regards to Elle, or the main character of the Netflix show 11. That show was Stranger Things. I'm really sorry I forgot to mention that in the video. But anyways, Netflix, go watch the first season of Stranger Things. It basically shows you a lot about how CERN operates, and I do believe that the last season also gets into it pretty deeply too. Basically discovering portals and the entrance into the what do they call it in that show? But basically the as above, so below. So, anyways, to continue on to this, Hollywood shows you the truth, and everything is predictive programming. It's funny, you get more truth in a Hollywood movie than you do out of the news. Of course, the news is the broken compass, northeast, west, south. So, anyways, Uranus, being the god of the sky, is clearly important because all of these planets or astrological bodies are in the sky. And, Nut from Egypt, the ancient Egypt goddess, is another really important one, and we'll discuss that in a future video. For now, let's just kind of discuss how Uranus is tied to both Bitcoin and XRP by the numbers. So you have, of course, Uranus with the 23, Bitcoin, as I showed you before, is the 23 in Chaldean. And also, now we have some numbers that are prevalent in XRP and Ripple. So we have right here the 41, 68, 22, and also XRP has the 23. So I'll show you really quickly with this tie to 23, like XRP is 23. Remember that 22 as well? Well, that's coming up in Uranus as well. Now, another thing that's really important is this 41, because it comes back to the 14 in XRP, and it's always as above, so below. So we go back to Uranus with the 68, and of course we get the 86 with Ripple. So again, as above, so below. It's really important to see how these astrological tie-ins with the Gematria make it all whole. Sometimes people are just taking random terms, plugging it in, and it feeds them their confirmation bias, and that's not what I do. I'm not focused on fluffing up what I want to happen. I am open-minded to anything being a possibility in this matrix, and the only way to allow that into your crown chakra is to allow it to literally allow all the information in. Don't think that what you know is truth. It's not how it works here, guys. So the big point of why I brought up Elon Musk is not only because this guy's obviously has a handler running his Twitter, but another thing is this number 24. Why is it so important with Elon Musk? Well, of course he brought up Pluto today, Pluto is the 24 on the 24th week of the year. He brings that up, and the logo on the back of this guy's jacket has 24 lines on it. I also believe it's the newer logo as well of his Twitter. It's a little bit more edited, but I think this is really interesting, this picture, because it's all going into a black box. Now this black box is probably the cube of Saturn, and then you have the light shining through it, which could be Sirius, or it could be Helios, and then the rays that are coming out, it's 4 4 4 4 4 4 4 4. It's clearly he is this is so esoteric. It's crazy. It's crazy. This guy is not making any of this up. It is all being controlled by his handlers. So, why 24 in Elon Musk? Well, because X is the 24th letter of the alphabet. Again, comes back to XRP. But more importantly, X is tied all over this guy, Elon Musk. His daughter that he just, or I think it's this, maybe his son, it doesn't matter. His last kid, the kid was probably born a daughter and then it was turned into a man. Knowing this fucking guy. Anyways, jokes aside, the number the letter X being the 24, and his first big breakthrough company, which of course he didn't have anything to do with, but the narrative is he did, which was PayPal, which before it was PayPal it was X.com. His last kid literally was named X, and of course you have SpaceX. So this guy's all tied to that letter X, and it doesn't surprise me to start the 24th week of the year. He's shilling. And another thing that's important is this guy's birthday. His fake birthday, by the way, is coming very soon. So I would postulate that everything between now and the end of his birthday, he's going to continue to be the sock puppet for the New World Order that he is. So we'll just have to see how that plays out. Again, nothing this guy does changes the charts or changes the market whatsoever. That is all just theater and news to get people who are low level imbecile apes to believe such, when in reality the market is not controlled at all by him. So let's move on to our TA for the day. So we have our moon cycles indicator, which I've been talking about for quite a while now, and we weren't really getting the bullish energy that we were desiring around the 10th, but I believe we're obviously seeing it today. And this could be more similar to back in February, where you could see the new moon. Even though we moved bullish into the new moon, we still had juice in the fruit and moved up for the next 10 days. So what that means is, let's just say our new moon was on the 10th, we could literally move up all the way till the 20th, continue to move up, and that would still fulfill the bullish energy that we were seeking. So technically this TA was spot on. It was just a little bit, it's hard to determine the orb or the window around the event with exact precision, and no one could do that. So we could get it all the way up into the full moon, which is on the 24th, and then just completely peel back. That's typically what happens. We've seen it actually happen many times where there's a really violent pullbacks into the full moon. So that was our main astrological TA sign, and what we came to terms with, and I brought up in my last Patreon post, was that these back-to-back eclipses, the lunar eclipse followed by the solar eclipse, and having this sideways but very violent, fearful energy, is now telling me we're probably going to get a market reset. Very, very similar analysis going on that could have been utilized during the C word crash, where the Bitcoin price lost like 50% of its value very quickly, etc. That was something that I was talking about all throughout this pullback, how this is a very violent, dramatic reaction, and it was wiping out leverage and a lot of, overly bearish people. When everyone's sentiment is the same, that's when the New World Order steps in and basically tells you what's up. Also, another supporter of mine over on our private Discord brought up the Ignatian year. Of course, Ignatius Loyola being the founder of the Jesuits. The Ignatian year was termed for the 20th of May, so it's amazing how basically that was leading right into that huge crash. So we have to maybe focus a little bit on the Ignatian year. I don't really know too deeply about what's going on there, but in my free time next, I will educate myself a little more and I'll share whatever findings I have with you guys. So let's quickly do a market. Let's look through the markets from the more macro perspective. Let me turn off this moon cycles indicator and let me throw on some of our exponential moving averages. Okay, so the moving averages we're working with right now are the 13, which is this cyan blue. We have the 21 being the orange, and then we have the 34 being this reddish color. Okay, so we're on the 2-week chart. A lot of people don't want to bring up the 2-week. Again, it's because a lot of people are staring at the 1-hour chart or the 15-minute chart, sweating, and their lettuce hands are starting to curl up. But what's more important here is the big picture. So people need to step back and look at the big picture. I am in log scale right now. I'll get out of log just so we could see technically what's going down here, which is 2 straight bi-weekly candles getting rejected off of this 13. But where are we getting our support? It's perfectly at this 21 on the bi-weekly. So again, I was telling everyone expect boring and sideways, and it was because all of these key indicators, all these key moving averages were being broken, but we are starting to see a bottoming forming. Another thing that's making me feel confident about using the word bottoming is because the Bitcoin dominance has started to reset. So when you're seeing Bitcoin dominance pump and Bitcoin being up and a lot of the altcoins being stagnant, it's because of this. These are two things that happen typically during a market reversal. Bitcoin gets dominant, and it's, the bigger reason why the sophisticated players mostly hold Bitcoin. So, one of the things that I'm seeing here on the biweekly, even though this closes into the full moon, is as long as we stay above this 21 in the biweekly, that's confident that we're in the midst of a trend reversal. Now, not a full blown, we can't say confidently a full blown reversal until we get above 60,000, and that's a ways away. So let's take this one thing at a time. Now let's go to the weekly, and we had something awesome happen. Again, you can hate on Bitcoin all you want, but this, what I'm about to tell you right now, is the reason why your favorite altcoin is still surviving. So Bitcoin had a weekly close yesterday right above the 34. That is giving hope now that there's possibility for trend reversal. Again, I'm still thinking like 80% chance that we're moving up into a bull trap. You guys have heard me say this time and time again. The bull trap would be movement upwards of 47,000 into the low 50s, basically a rejection, and then a pullback back to the similar trading area we are in over the last 2 weeks. So what I think is good though is the fact that we have this new moon, and then we're seeing that weekly closure be a more bullish closure. So that's good in the short term. Let's go to our 3-day. Now I'm going to add these simple moving averages along with my 200s. And what we're seeing now is we've gotten a confident close above the 8 simple moving average, and then we are now seeing resistance again on this 13. So this is still indicating sideways. And the one thing that I'm interested in is the fact that our 3-day candle closes tonight. And let's pull up our fib so we could get a little bit more data. So you see our 236 fib is sitting at 38,000 basically. A closure tonight above 38,000 would be great. That would be another bullish. This is a little more short term, even though the 3-day candles are stronger. This would be a bullish sign, okay? Because we have a closure above our 8 simple along with a closure above the 236. This information I'm giving you guys right now is, it's really important. So pay attention. This is like free TA lessons right here. So on the 2-day, one of the important signals that I see is a MACD cross bullish. When a MACD crosses bullish on a daily, great. I mean, if it crosses on a 4-hour, who cares? But if it crosses on a 2-day or a 3-day, that's awesome. So again, another sign of bullish momentum in the short term. We do see lots of resistance though. The 21 2-day and the 34 2-day are going to be resistance. So let me remove some of these extras and then go to the daily. So on the daily, absolutely bullish for getting a daily close candle yesterday above the 21. The 21 is this orange candle. Sorry, this orange moving average right here. 21 exponential. It's our first daily close above the 21 exponential in 35 days. Okay, this is really important for people to understand. What's the problem though? It's something that I brought up in videos last week. It's this 42,000 area. The reason why 42 is problematic is because we have the 200 simple and the 200 exponential above. Also, we have this 34. So a closure of the 200 EMA, which is this lighter green moving average, that would be good, but ultimately a closure above the 200 simple would be very good. That would give me a sign that this bull run still has juice, and that would also indicate incoming bull trap. So let's quickly just show you what I think the bull trap idea is here. Let me remove all of my exponential moving averages and just show you based on these two simple things. So a bull trap can go up from the 0.5 fib, which would be 47,250, to the 618, which is 51,400. That's the bull trap zone that I see is most likely. Now, could Bitcoin pump all the way up to the 786 and get rejected? 100% yes. It could even go up higher than that and still come back to the 236. So you're like, oh, Waters, what you're saying so many things, like, just be simple for a second. Okay, I'll be very, very simple. This is how I'll do it. I'm going to go log. I'm going to turn off, I'll keep this arc on, and I'm going to show you one important thing. It's the 55 simple moving average. It's this white moving average right here. You see it curving down. That right there, until that can cross the 8 simple, which is this yellow, I don't think we're ready to have a trend reversal to the upside. This is my personal best bullish cross. A lot of people don't talk about it. It's really kind of a weird indicator. But when the 8 simple and the 55 simple cross, with the 8 moving above the 55, that is a reversal sign for me. What's in the middle of it, fucking everything up? The 200 moving average, the 200 simple, and the 200 exponential. These are things we haven't really seen before in the middle of a bull run. So anyone who does analysis on anything, these are signs of bear market. Like, believe it or not. That's why I've told people time and time again, you want to get trigger happy when we start moving into this bull trap zone. I'm not telling you to sell all your crypto. I'm just saying this is what cautious, sophisticated investors would be looking to do. I'm not telling you to sell your house to buy the crypto when it comes back to the downside. I'm not telling you to sell it when it goes up. I'm just telling you what I think is the highest probability, which is we're probably going to move up, bull trap, rejection, and then chop around in 30 to the mid $40,000 range until September. That's still how I feel based on all the analysis that I've done and all of my experience looking at charts. So let's move on from Bitcoin and get into the XRP story, because XRP is looking more boring than ever. Let me get into the weekly, because there is something important to be seen over here. So the weekly, I'm going to turn off these moving averages and turn on my exponentials, and what I'm going to show you is something really clean and easy, which is the 13, the blue moving average, is being a major resistance, and the 21 is being a key support, and it's basically been trading like this for 4 straight weeks. So you guys now know what I meant when I was saying that this market would be boring and sideways for a while. I wasn't trying to I'm just the guy handing out red pills, okay? Don't shoot the messenger. Basically, what I see here is until this can break above the 236 with a weekly closure, this shit's going to stay sideways. Bitcoin pumping to the upside at this time still won't give XRP the juice it needs, because that's not how XRP works. XRP pumps and dumps at very weird times, and it tends to follow Bitcoin more to the bearish side than it does to the bullish side. So that means when Bitcoin's very bearish, XRP and everything else goes bearish. When Bitcoin is super bullish, though, it could sometimes keep all the altcoins, including especially XRP, basically boring and even bloody sometimes. So that all has to do with Bitcoin dominance. Now, one thing that I will say that's kind of problematic if I bring up my simple moving averages is you can see they're squeezing. This 8 simple and the 55 are squeezing, and even though we're finding lots of support on this 55 on the 3-day, I don't like how these are squeezing. I would love to see XRP close a 3-day candle above this 8 simple, which would be 94 cents, but better still this 96-cent region. Until XRP starts closing macro candle closes above $1, this is pretty bearish looking, like, I'm not gonna lie. So the one thing that we could do, let me put it on like a daily, let me remove everything, and then let me just draw somewhat of a pattern. And I don't like to do this, guys. Like, I'm really not the biggest fan of drawing patterns, but if you see right here, let me hide this really quickly. I'm going to show you where this is all going. So you see right here what's happening from this wick right here through these wicks, and even today we are getting somewhat of a pennant forming. You call it a symmetrical triangle if that's the language you like to use. But this is forming, okay? Now the measured move on this is pretty insane. If I just took it from here to here, which is pretty alright to do, you're seeing that if we broke out tomorrow, we're getting into that golden pocket, but we're not getting above it. So that means that XRP could literally blast off into this region. Let me get at a log actually. I think I might have screwed that up by having it in log, but it doesn't really matter. It's within a little bit of a difference. The point being here is that like you do have somewhat of a pattern going on. Let me see what it would be like in log or without log, linear scale I meant to say. Is this pretty similar scenario? Yeah, it's the same story, guys. It would be moving up to it would be moving up into the 618 and then probably get rejected, and that would be exactly like the Bitcoin analysis I was telling you about. So, just keep an eye that this could pop off over the next month. It could take a lot longer than you anticipate, even though crypto likes to move fast. Just be prepared, all right? If XRP wants to have a crazy green candle and everything else is kind of just chilling, that's a sign that everything else is probably going to lead into a bull trap. XRP tends to be the leading indicator for cryptos for the altcoins. Just something to keep in mind and something to be considerate of. So, if you want to draw this triangle, you can. I'm not huge into patterns at this time. I'm more of a Wyckoff analyst, so I like sideways trading. I like horizontal trading ranges predominantly, and I like using fibs and moving averages. Those of you that are pattern traders, have fun. I mean, ultimately, I don't think that they're that useful. Like head and shoulders, I've seen break bullish. Inverse head and shoulders, I've seen break bearish. I've seen it all with patterns. So patterns aren't typically the way to go, especially with lower cap altcoins. With Bitcoin, sure, it works. But I see too many people doing it on like the 1 hour chart and the 30-minute chart. And it's just kind of, it's insane. It's a waste of time. Learn real technical analysis, which isn't just staring at patterns, okay? Anyways, for those of you that wanted to join the Patreon to have access to the Red Pill episode, you could go to patreon.com/watersabove. And then if you become a Mastermind community member, you'll be able to have access to the Red Pill episode, our private Discord, and also you'll qualify for a really big discount on my Mastermind course. So if you're interested in getting educated in this market while we're boring and sideways for the next couple months, definitely now's the time. Feel free to get in contact with me via email. Email's in the description and the pinned comment. Give this video a like and enjoy the rest of your day in the Matrix. Much love.